Hello everybody, today we're playing with Cloud Planus Champion. It's a 5 mana 4/4 in Boros, which is red and white, legendary creature humans soldier mercenary. During your turn, as long as Cloud is equipped, it has double strike and indestructible, and equip abilities you activate that target Cloud cost 2 less to activate. The idea with the Cloud is to have enough mana to be able to cast Cloud, and most of our equipment cost 2 means we can not only play Cloud, we can equip into our commander as well, giving it indestructible. Special in offense means we can hit through our opponent's creatures with no problem. To help with Clouds, we also have equipment that have trample or haste as Cloud. Those are the two keywords that Cloud really has. We also have the land that gives haste with Arena of Glory, and paired with the boots or the swords that have any sort of way to give trample are very good with this commander. Unfortunately, Cloud costs 5 mana. 5 mana is not easy to get, so we need a backup plan in case we are against a control heavy deck, or a deck that has a lot of blue and is saving their counterspell for our commander. In that case, we have the whole equipment synergy. We have either creatures that make equipment, which are good for Cloud, or ways to get the swords we need. With Cloud and Stormforged Mystic are two good cards that can fetch us the equipment we need, and open the armor is another nice one. As for the best swords to get are gonna be the sword, pretty much your swords that are available, the Fire and Ice, Forge and Frontier, and once in future. There's the Simic one, but I don't like it too much. And the idea is if we're against a deck, example that's an Izzet, Fire and Ice is pretty good. Forge and Frontier is mainly for the green decks. They are normally very focused on one color type on their creatures, usually it's green. So we were able to bypass it, and that's excellent for Cloud. And the Dimir sword is very good into control. Normally they're not gonna let us equip it, but if it resolves, it really can end a game very quickly. Finally, we have creatures that also have synergy with equipment. Either we can equip for cheap with Brabadan, can equip that first equipment into our commander. We also have ways to discount it with Canvas Outfitter or indestructible creatures, so that when we equip, the opponent tries to remove our creature, we can just give it indestructible. And also creatures that just get stronger the more equipment we have. Goblin Cavalier, just a nice example of these cards. Finally, don't forget the removal. We're going to need removal in the early game. Pair that with ramp so that by the time we have Cloud, we don't have to deal with that many creatures because our commander does not have trample. Let's see how we do with Cloud Planus Champion. Not bad. We can try, but we're going second. It really hurts. We really needed to have gone first. Am I playing the fletching early? What am I giving up, Nahili? I think so. Let's see if you counter it. Yeah, fine. Spell Pierce I don't have to deal with later. That's why I really needed to win first. We'll see. We did eat a Spell Pierce. That is good for us. Almost board wipes is the one thing I am worried about. That's the big question. So you're playing around the board wipe or the sword? Because if we're more worried about the board wipe, we do have two swords. Make him have it. I'm more worried about him getting countered. And this pressures him to counter a sword. Maybe hit his bull rifle on 4, make him have it.
Fail? Oh, crap. You get to be my protege today.
We can punish that pretty well. I can hit here. Brawl. Once the trade's fine.
I blame it on the tail.
Our sword protects us pretty well into him. We can of course get rebuked. Alright. Paid 5 to draw land. Interesting moves for the hit here. I can play here, and if he counters, we force a counter. I'm fine. Force a counter here. Yeah, sure. Then 2 spells to counter that. Why by me? We need to wait here.
Save you once, observe, analyze, iterate.
Okay. Alright, the sword saved us. It was a bit of a gamble, but we were lucky enough the opponent didn't exactly have a turn to board wipe and the value of the swords. We had the sword fire and ice, and as long as it was attached to a creature, it has a really hard time against it. We're able to bypass the otter, hit Ral, and later on its own will help us draw cards. GG's. We do go second, so we take benefit of land tax. Alright, we'll try it. Unfortunately, we have to play land tax early. Pretty good for us. I mean, start a car. We already have a plane. You know what I'm giving up? I'm giving up the surveillance. I won't have time to play tapped. Doesn't look me bad. It is perfectly fine for me. I can play the sword here or boots. I won't have time to play. Let's play the inefficient spell. Good, yeah. It gets. We can hover ship next turn, or ossificate it. I do like to hover ship. Okay, we can hover ship that then. Do that. The Tithe Taker. And I do want my red. We can wait. If it's a counter to the knight, we can brew Cathar it. Gonna take some damage. Let's get a red. Okay. Options. Creature. I'm going to play the planes here. I can equip here. What other options we have? I can boots. Boots is fine. Boots can help us. Let's play the boots though. I like boots because we can start equipping it. We can equip it on Cloud immediately. On our turn. Our next one. And the sword is fine, but we don't have a spell I would like to play. Maybe the one drop. Alright, opponent missed their land drop. How we got there. Very important, these stabilizing creatures. That really helped us stay in the game. And that one removal spell. GG's. Not a good hand. Right. Davriel? Not bad. I like 5 mana to Stone Torch Mystic. Black has a lot of ways to give minus counters, but there are quite a few ways around. Indestructible. For example, Davriel on his own just deals with it. But he gives us his commander for it, so not that bad. Okay, exile. I get to draw a card for it, not too bad. In that case, I could give it haste, but there's no way I can do that. This forces the interaction. I can play Stoneforge Mystic. Sure. There are two options here. I can boots. Better than the sword? Maybe. I think so. Yeah, there's the 1 mana one. Is with it we have Cloud.
Well, I'd say it's good to see another planeswalker, but it's not.
That is the annoying part. Do we... We have no way to double it. That is pretty good on his part. Yeah, the problem is we can get OTK'd. Pretty unfortunate. But what we're gonna do... Our opponent attacks you. I guess it's fine. Problem is the conditions, right? Oh, the conditions are so annoying. But at least it's better than the minus. I need to do this 8 though. Yeah. I really don't know what was the right play here. Not the best.
Any gods, start praying.
This leaves it in 1, so I can +1. It's not that bad. He wants to try to go for no TK. This forces him to interact now.
You won't. You should know I have standards, and I've yet to find an enemy that meets them. My services are not cheap.
Alright. Basic control. You. Towards you. And that's lethal. Alright, we got rewarded for hitting Davriel. It is risky because one of the conditions is to get to when he draws he gains life. And depending on the cards he may have, that can just that's one of his OTK conditions. Because he already had the one where spells cost 1 less black to cast. We were very close to dying. One good card and it's over. Davriel normally plays as a combo deck. GG's. He gets countered. It's fine. Countered. Or wants to bounce. Go for a hit. Has something with flash. Okay.
Krakens, leviathans, octopuses, serpents. Oh, I love them all.
Yeah, we have no way to deal with that.
Hands off.
At least we can deal with the creature. No, we don't have light.
The ocean surges, life throbs.
Two cards, so probably you. I do need the creature. I think at this point it's too slow. I'd like to play you. We have 1, 2, 3. We do have 5. And it.
Back to the depths.
Kiora. This forces them to interact. Alright. Go on you. There's that. Good game. They got there thanks to our combo with Freya, giving us that mana which we needed to get to play and equip the sword, and we got Goblin Cavalier, which has quite good synergy for their equipments. GG's. For the post-game wrap with Cloud's Panic Champion, I wanted to indeed see how Cloud works, either the one in Naya and the one in Boros. I wanted to try the Boros one because it's not that reliant on ramping into him. He has some sort of protection, which is nice. It is unfortunately only on our turn, but that ability to make target Cloud cost 2 less is quite useful, especially in the later game. I do have to say, unfortunately, Cloud has a little bit too many problems for my liking. Number one issue is he's very expensive, which means any commander that has blue, you are pretty much almost never being able to cast Cloud. You need to have Cavern of Souls for you to even be able to cast Cloud in those matchups. So you're playing into without a commander into most blue decks, which is pretty unfortunate. Black is also pretty annoying because we need to protect Cloud, and Cloud needs to be equipped. And because the against instant spells, they can just target Cloud and it's over, as well as our swords can protect us from one color but not all of the other colors. So we're really, this deck, once I played it, relies more on our creatures than our commander. And in other matchups, when we get to play Cloud, no removal, we get to equip. The opponent has a bunch of creatures to block, so we just hit, they block with a 1/1, we don't do anything. If we don't get the swords we need, it's a problem. If the opponent has a way to generate colors or colorless creatures, Cloud can no longer bypass with the swords. It's just a little bit too many problems, and once again, most of the games we're relying more on our deck than our commander. And unfortunately, there's going to be the same thing for the Naya one. We get to ramp a little bit turn faster, but the Naya one is pretty much a clear signal. Hey, I'm going to play this powerful commander. If you don't deal with him, you will lose the game. You have 3 turns, maybe 4, before you get to cast it. So they'll just wait every single counterspell removal for it. It's just a bit of an issue. And problem of these type of commanders, if we're just playing around only equipping everything to that expensive commander, edicts work, War wipes hit them. Counter spells are brutal. White spells are very cheap and can deal with expensive creatures. It's just not really worth it. What really carries this deck is the 99. They are very powerful, and most importantly, they're even stronger than their commander. Cloudmaker Mercenary is, I believe, the best of the Final Fantasy set of playing equipment because he's cheap. He can fetch the hammer, so he becomes a giant creature. He can, even if he dies, we can bring him back for cheap, and we can get a trample spell. So we're not really worried if in white not having trampler, as he can fetch his own solutions. Rabadon is also much better equipment commander because we can attach for free. We can do it early, and yes, the opponent can remove it, but it's going to cost quite a bit of HP. So if the opponent's hitting for 6 or 7, they're not really wanting to. They much rather prefer to block and deal with other creatures, which is what a deck like this wants. And even Mabel is also pretty good. Mice has pretty good equipment synergy. It gets an automatic weapon, so even if Mabel dies, we can equip it into other creatures. And by the time, for example, we play Cloud, we can already play an army and be closing the game before we play this commander. It's a bit unfortunate with this commander. I had a bit of hopes when playing it, but once I went on practice, really Cloud is just there just for show. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment below what were your favorite commanders from this Final Fantasy set. Thanks for watching.